As the rest of the world remains shrouded in the shadows of the night, a jagged finger of land stretching into the North Pacific is the first to greet the dawn. This is Kamchatka. Located in the Russian Far East, this 1,250-kilometer-long peninsula is a place where the map seems to end and the primordial Earth begins. It is a land of paradoxes, where fire meets ice, where the silence of the tundra is broken by the roar of volcanic vents, and where the cycle of life plays out in its most raw and magnificent form. Isolated from the mainland by vast distances and for decades closed to the outside world, Kamchatka remains one of the last great wildernesses on our planet. Kamchatka is the beating heart of the Pacific Ring of Fire. Beneath the surface, the tectonic plates are in a constant, slow-motion collision, fueling an intensity found nowhere else on Earth. There are over 300 volcanoes here, 29 of which are still restless and active. The undisputed king of these giants is Kamchatka Sopka, the highest active volcano in Eurasia. Its perfect cone rises nearly 4,800 meters into the sky, often draped in a crown of volcanic ash and steam. To look upon it is to witness the Earth in its infancy. In the south, the Mutnovsky and Gorely volcanoes offer a different spectacle. Acidic crater lakes of turquoise, blue and yellow sulfur vents that hiss like ancient steam engines. This is a landscape in a state of constant revision. Every eruption reshapes the valleys, diverts the rivers, and reminds us that the ground beneath our feet is a living, breathing entity. Deep within the Kronotsky Nature Reserve lies a hidden world that was unknown to geography until 1941. The Valley of Geysers is one of the largest geyser fields in the world, and the only one in Eurasia. It is a fragile canyon where the Earth's internal heat reaches the surface in spectacular bursts of boiling water and steam. The valley is a kaleidoscope of colors, clay banks of deep red, mosses of neon green, and the white crust of mineral deposits. There are over 20 large geysers, each with its own personality and rhythm. Some, like the Velikan giant, erupt with a thunderous roar, sending jets of water 30 meters into the air. Others are more rhythmic, pulsing like a steady heartbeat. This microclimate creates a sanctuary. Even in the depths of the Siberian winter, the warmth of the earth allows life to persist where it should otherwise perish. Water is the defining element of Kamchatka. Thousands of rivers crystallized from mountain glaciers flow toward the sea. But these are more than just waterways. They are the arteries of the ecosystem. Every summer, a miracle of nature occurs. The salmon run. Millions of Pacific salmon, Chinook, sockeye, coho, and pink, return from the ocean to the very streams where they were born. Their journey is a feat of biological navigation and sheer willpower. At Kurale Lake, the water turns a deep, pulsating red as hundreds of thousands of sockeye salmon congregate to spawn. This massive influx of nutrients is the foundation of Kamchatka's life. Without the salmon, the forests would wither, and the great predators would starve. It is a cycle of sacrifice. The salmon die after spawning, leaving their bodies to nourish the land for the next generation. In the wake of the salmon come the masters of the peninsula, the Kamchatka brown bear. These are some of the largest grizzly relatives on Earth, weighing up to 600 kilograms. Because of the abundance of food, Kamchatka boasts one of the highest densities of brown bears in the world. Unlike their cousins in other parts of the world, these bears have a somewhat uneasy truce with one another. During the peak of the salmon run, dozens of bears can be seen fishing side by side along the riverbanks. Mothers teach their cubs the delicate art of the pounce, while massive males compete for the best fishing spots. It is a season of plenty, a frantic race to put on enough fat to survive the brutal 7-month winter that looms on the horizon. To watch a Kamchatka bear is to see a creature perfectly attuned to the rhythms of its environment. Away from the volcanic peaks and the rushing rivers lies the vast, rolling tundra. This is the domain of the reindeer, the Arctic fox, and the elusive snow sheep. The weather here is a fickle master. A clear morning can turn into a blinding blizzard within minutes. Life on the tundra requires a different kind of resilience. The plants are low-lying and hardy, clinging to the volcanic soil. This is also where the human history of Kamchatka is most deeply felt. For thousands of years, indigenous peoples like the Itelmens, Koryaks, and Avans have lived in harmony with this harsh landscape. They were the first to name the volcanoes and the first to understand the spirits of the land. Though modern life has reached the peninsula, the traditions of reindeer herding and the deep spiritual connection to nature still echo across the plains. The Kamchatka coastline is a fortress of basalt cliffs and black sand beaches. The meeting of the cold Bering Sea and the vast Pacific creates a nutrient-rich environment for marine life. In the shadow of the Three Brothers, three iconic sea stacks guarding the entrance to Avacha Bay, the ocean teems with activity. Stellar sea lions haul themselves onto rocky outcrops, their barks echoing against the cliffs. Pods of orcas, the apex predators of the sea, hunt in the deep waters, while humpback whales migrate through the coastal currents. This is the maritime gateway to Kamchatka, a place where the scale of the landscape is matched only by the scale of the sea. The port of Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, nestled against the backdrop of home volcanoes, serves as a reminder of the human endeavor to inhabit this wild frontier. As autumn fades, Kamchatka undergoes a dramatic transformation. The fire of the volcanoes is met with the relentless ice of the north. Snow can reach depths of several meters, burying entire forests and locking the peninsula in a frozen embrace. But Kamchatka does not sleep. The volcanic vents continue to steam, creating eerie ghosts of vapor in the sub-zero air. This is the time of the Kamchatka sled dog. For centuries, these dogs were the only means of transportation across the frozen wastes. Today, the tradition lives on in the Beringia dog sled race, a grueling test of endurance that covers hundreds of miles. The winter is a reminder of the peninsula's isolation, a time of silence, starlight, and the shimmering northern lights dancing over the smoking craters. Kamchatka remains one of the few places left where nature operates on its own terms, indifferent to the whims of man. However, this wilderness is as fragile as it is powerful. Climate change, poaching, and the pressures of resource extraction pose constant threats to this delicate balance. To protect Kamchatka is to protect a piece of our planet's soul. It is a living museum of geology and a sanctuary for species that have been driven out elsewhere. As the sun sets over the Sea of Okhotsk, painting the volcanic peaks in hues of violet and gold, we are reminded that we are merely visitors here. Kamchatka was here long before us, and if we are wise, its fires will continue to burn long after we are gone, a testament to the enduring wild spirit of the earth.